Hello there. Today on this episode of The Quiet Rifle we are going to answer a question that is on everybody's mind. Can you shoot pellets through a slug liner with any good results? I've heard mixed things about this. There's some people that have sent me messages and said, hey, it works great, and other people have had some strange issues, possibly of the twist rate affecting the stability of the pellet a little too much. But I don't know, so I'm going to find out for myself. We're going to crony the impact, make sure my tune is still where it is, get a good idea of what the muzzle velocity is, because it's just been fixed. So we'll just double check that, make sure it's all still sweet, and then take it down the range. Shoot some groups at 50 meters with the slug liner and with the pellet liner. It used to shoot really good with the pellet liner, so assuming the tune hasn't changed at all, we should be able to knock out some very nice small groups, and hopefully the slug liner works as well as the people say it does. So we'll try that. I won't be able to shoot it at 100 meters, it's too windy, and I don't really have a 100 meter range at my place at the moment, just because of where I've had to put the animals in this part of the dry season. So yeah. Ugh. It's hot. Fascinating stuff though. Blew some shots out on minimum power just to settle the reg down again. Generally, for whatever reason, the FX regulator loves a little bit of a creep, but did that, settle it out nicely, and then shot a couple of rounds. I don't know how many it was. It wasn't too many, but probably like eight rounds, and they were all between 932 and 936. Which is 15 feet per second faster than it used to be, but also very consistent. So I guess yay for me? I don't know. So magically it's more powerful now than it was before, so that's fine. That's still plenty of speed for these JSB King Heavy Mark IIs, 34 grain, 25 calibers. These ones can handle a fair bit of speed too. They're kind of a longer design than the standard JSB Kings. So 930 to 940 is about as fast as I would want to shoot them realistically. But that's good and hard, so shouldn't have any issues of being underpowered. So giddy up. Let's head down the range, set up some shade. Just bought a new gazebo, very happy. And yeah, try not to get sunburnt and have a good time on the range. Might have a bit of a red tinge to it, but whew, it is way better than being in the sun. So, target set up nicely, looking pretty good, elevated off the ground. There's not much foliage in the way, but I mean there's always a little stick somewhere. All the way from back up there, shooting position, nicely shaded. So I reckon what we'll do is shoot the slug liner first, just in case I run out of air. My new pressure gauge was reading right, but the last time I pumped it up, it seemed like it was reading high again. So I'm just to be safe, we'll shoot maybe 2 groups with the slug liner, get it on target and get a couple of groups down, and then we'll switch back over to the pellet liner for a comparison group. So yes, because we know the pellet liner is going to work. So more focus, more air should probably be spent on using the slug liner. So I haven't, if I remember correctly, I've cleaned it, but I haven't actually shot through this slug liner yet. So this may throw a bit of a spanner in the works. I may have to shoot a little bit more than I was expecting to, because sometimes it takes a few rounds to get a nice bearing surface inside the liner, but it should be all right. We'll see what happens. Kestrel's saying it's 43 degrees, and it feels every bit of it. Right, here we are at the target. So first shot landed up there because I was zeroed for my low power 10 meters on the whatchamadoodle, the other liner. I was actually aiming at that square right there in the middle down the bottom, so it was about 10 MRAD up, and then I wound it that much down and it landed all the way down here, so it was sort of pretty close. And then made a few more adjustments, hit in the middle there, a little to the right, and then obviously wound it the wrong way because I'm an idiot. And then this in the middle here was our last 5-round group. So I think I'm going to put that group in real time just to show you how small it is. That's my fingertip there. I'll measure it, but that was just a quick bang, 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 bang kind of a deal. I wasn't really being super deliberate, and it's produced a really nice group. It's probably about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch at 50 meters without even trying, basically. So I'll do a slow, deliberate group. It'll probably be worse knowing my luck, but we might put a group in there and see if we can't tighten it up a little bit. But so far so good, looks pretty promising to me. Tasty. Looks like we got 3 of them touching each other and 2 floating off a little bit. Let's measure what we got here. Looks to be 16 millimeters. That's not too bad. And this first one was just a little bit bigger. Yeah, there we go. That one, 18 or 19. What have we got? Nope, 16, 17. 17 millimeters. So a 16 mil group and a 17 mil group. So, yeah, pretty happy with that. This impact is a bloody laser beam, hey. Such a joy to shoot something that just goes exactly where you want it. Right, so let's chuck that pellet liner in there, shoot a couple of groups just to run them directly side by side and see how they go. I suspect my pellet groups today are probably going to be, pellet liner groups are going to be the same as that, just because of how uncomfortable it is out here. So yeah, we'll just have to give it a crack and hope for the best. Right, back on the pellet liner. If you're going to do this at the range, don't forget to remove your magazine. Make sure your weapon's clear before you go switching out any liners or anything like that. You don't want to be playing around the pointy end if there's something up the pipe. So we got some strange point of impact shift going on here. When I put the slug liner in there, the windage was basically pretty close. It was within about half an MRAD, but now that I've put my my pellet liner back in there, it seems like it's probably 2 or 3 MRAD across. So I'm going to aim for the target in the top right hand corner, not knowing where it's going to go, but assuming that it's going to be somewhere on the right hand side. And yeah, I guess we'll just get a group wherever we get a group and then wind on from there. Better? So, considerable point of impact shift. It seems like you get a lot more elevation out of a slightly faster twist rate when it comes to these King Heavy Mark IIs. Juicy. So, there's my nice big hole that I've drilled in the middle of the target, which looks great. However, I was aiming at that one, the top left. So, interesting stuff. Significant difference in point of impact, because with this group here and this group here, I was pretty much aiming dead center of where those rounds were landing. You know, I was using my crosshairs against the crosshair on the target there and nailing it fairly well, pretty close to where I was. Could stand to give it a couple more clicks of elevation, but this one is way off from where I was aiming. So interesting. I didn't really see that coming. So yeah, there you go. Possible elevation preference to the slug liner. But this is a very nice, very tight group. If we put my finger there, my finger basically covers the whole group. So very good stuff. So it is even more of a laser beam when you use the pellet liner, but I do think that these groups here are still pretty good. So I think if you couldn't be bothered taking out your pellet liner, or taking out your slug liner if you've been shooting slugs and you want to shoot pellets again, you're still going to get really good results. So preference to the pellet liner for now, but yeah, slug liner still very usable. So that was fun, interesting, doing me a science, good stuff. So yeah, in conclusion, my findings, I think at 50 meters at least, maybe those groups would blow out a little bit too much at 100. Depending on your skill level, the wind, and what you actually want from them. But I don't know, I think it's usable, very usable. So, and I also think that if I have shot as many pellets as I have through my pellet liner through that slug liner, remembering that this is the first time I've used it today and there's no, it was basically a virgin barrel, so I reckon given probably another 50 shots, it probably would tighten up real tight like the pellet liner is. But who knows? Who knows? I think my opinion is that that you definitely can shoot pellets out of a slug liner. So very good, very good. I think that'll do us for today. I'm going to re-zero my impact at 10 meters on minimum power again with that pellet liner, and get ready for my next shoot. But it's way too hot to be out here. I'm going to go and sit in the aircon, edit some videos, and drink 6 beers and just mope. So have a good weekend.